Welcome back. The Paycheck Protection Program, aimed at providing relief to struggling small businesses, has received much criticism throughout the pandemic for not helping those who need it most. And just today, the Washington Post reports 5 anti-vaccine groups received $850,000 in PPP loans. Some of the groups even had their social media accounts suspended for spreading misleading information, raising larger questions. If the government is helping people who are seeking to undermine its agenda, what about the actual businesses in desperate need? Our Faith Abubey reports.
Navy veteran Teresa Black was first deployed just 5 months before her only child, Isabella, turned 2 years old.
I literally cried every day.
The separation made worse by her child's innocent words.
When I left her, she really, at 2 years old, thought that I had dropped her off and moved to another house. And she told me that the first week I was gone. She's like, "Mommy, can I come see you at your house?"
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Now back from deployment, in December 2019, Teresa opened this Arlington gelato shop as a way to anchor herself closer to her daughter.
It means everything to me, honestly. Like, this is my way not to leave her again.
But this past year, the reality of losing it all, ever so real. The pandemic-ravaged economy threatening to take everything.
So you were only making 10% of what you had been making pre-COVID?
Oh, yeah. It was about 10%. It was about 10%. For the entire month of April, we made only 1 day's worth of sales. I saw everything crumbling. And then it was a question of, like, what now?
Teresa got resourceful, seeking out grants and applying for a loan through the Paycheck Protection Program. The massive and unprecedented federal government program offers forgivable loans to small business owners, at the time companies with 500 employees or less, if they use it to stay open and keep employees on the payroll. But Teresa's bank?
They didn't actually put out the applications. They put out the applications for the application.
And after a painstaking process, Teresa was approved for only $2,000. Not even enough to cover 1 month's rent. And in the end, a laundry list of issues keeping her from actually receiving a penny.
I was furious. A lot of the money went to these larger small businesses, but all the micro businesses that actually needed the money that couldn't qualify for loans. It was crazy to me that I'm reading, like, this company got $2 million, this company got $10 million, this company got this many loans, like all their different arms of this company got this many loans, and it's just like, is this a joke?
Some of the nation's largest restaurant chains, like Ruth's Chris and Potbelly Sandwiches, are facing backlash, expected to receive millions from the Payroll Protection Program, which is meant to help small businesses keep their employees.
Newly released data from the Small Business Administration shows billions of dollars from the PPP went to the wealthy and well-connected, while minority small businesses waited longer, got less money, or no money at all.
It was really intended to be a lifeline for small businesses. However, there were, from the outset, structural flaws with this program, structural barriers.
Restaurant chains like Shake Shack, Ruth's Chris, and Potbelly coming under fire and have since returned all the money. PPP loans were also extended to groups that ordinarily wouldn't qualify through the Small Business Administration, like nonprofits. Critics are also calling out the federal government for giving more than $7 billion in the PPP loans to religious organizations, waiving its own rules to give them access to taxpayer dollars.
Churches are employers. Churches are service providers. And when there's a struggling church who is also struggling because of the pandemic, because people can't go to institution, their employees are also going to suffer if they can't pay them.
But University of Virginia law professor Micah Schwartzman says it's not that simple.
What marks out PPP as different than past funding programs is the direct financing of religious operations and religious institutions. We just hadn't seen something like that before. So it changes the landscape of how the federal government and state governments relate to religious organizations.
Many are also outraged that megachurches, where pastors were sometimes worth millions of dollars, were able to qualify.
I think the public perception is that some organizations that had financial means should not have taken the money, even if they were eligible for it.
Data released by the Small Business Administration shows churches led by evangelical TV stars like Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church received $4.4 million. Joyce Meyer's Ministries getting $5 million through PPP. Paula White Kane's City of Destiny received $259,000. Robert Jeffers' First Baptist Dallas, $2.2 million in tax dollars. Lakewood Church and Joyce Meyer's Ministries telling ABC News the money saved hundreds of jobs and the pastors did not personally take a penny. The other churches have not responded for comment.
There was no opposition, no serious political or public opposition to religious organizations being included in PPP like all other nonprofits. I think most people understand that these are very special circumstances during the pandemic, and so there wasn't any major public outcry about this. The reason why there's more opposition and objection to megachurches receiving money is similar to why there was opposition to large corporations receiving money.
Reports now that just 2 weeks after being approved for $3.9 million in PPP funds, Daystar TV Church bought a private jet. According to Inside Edition, after their investigation, the church reportedly paid back all $3.9 million. ABC reached out but did not get a response.
It's insane to me. It's just like another slap in the face, I think.
With the government now issuing a new round of PPP, critics are watching hawkishly to see if any lessons were learned. The SBA hasn't responded to specific questions from ABC News, but said in a news release, it's, quote, calling upon its lending partners to redouble their efforts to assist eligible borrowers in underserved and disadvantaged communities. They've also set aside funds specifically for businesses with 10 or fewer employees. Teresa is already in line, trying to save her business.
Are you feeling better about the second round?
I mean, reality is that we can't write the rules, but we can try to demand something better. I'm just hoping to get something that's going to help, because the reality is that we have to make it through the next at least few months.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.